Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here from the 2024 Mama Fall Fest. Behind me, I have the all-new 2025 Buick Enclave ST or Sport Touring trim level, and I want to give you guys a quick walk-around tour because I have not been hands-on with the ST version yet. I have already featured an Avenir fully loaded on the channel, so make sure you guys check that video out if you guys are curious about that. And I do have a few cameras set up, and we're going to take this vehicle behind me for a first drive, give you guys my first initial quick driving impressions of this new GM 3-row SV platform, because I have not, believe it or not, been behind the wheel of the 2.5 liter turbocharged engine yet. And I know a lot of you guys who have watched my videos are very curious about that. So hopefully you guys will get my initial impressions of this vehicle. But without further ado, let's not waste your time. Take a quick look here at the ST, see what it has to offer, and then jump inside, take it for a quick spin. Now the Enclave ST in front of us is finished in the Moonstone Gray exterior with the ebony black leatherette on the inside. Now Moonstone Gray is a very nice medium metallic gray exterior, as you can see here in the sunlight. Somewhat reminds me of the satin steel that was offered in the GM vehicles over the last several years, but very nice kind of medium gray with a hint of silver to it. Now, as you can see at the front end of the Enclave ST, you will find a lot of gloss black elements over that of the other trims of the Enclave. Of course, the updated Buick logo, 360 surround view camera system, front, rear, and side parking sensors with full LED lighting. Now, coming around to the side of the Enclave, there you can see more of the gloss black accents around the wheel wells and the lower door sections. These are going to be the ST-specific 18-inch alloy wheels with a gunmetal gray and machine finish, riding on a nice Continental all-season tire. Coming up to the mirror caps, they're going to be gloss black, LED turn signal integration, cameras on the bottom, and they are going to, of course, be heated with your blind spot detection and the driver's side auto dimming. All four door handles are going to feature proximity entry, which is always nice to see. And there you can see on the side of the vehicle all of those gloss black elements, along with the roof rails up top and the lower door cladding. This vehicle is not equipped with the panoramic power sunroof, but that is going to be available as a separate standalone option. Now, coming out back of the Enclave, more LED lighting will continue on for the tail lamps, turn signals, and reverse lights. The reverse lights are located a little bit lower on the rear bumper. Dual outlet exhaust, there's those backup sensors that I was talking about earlier. Nice chrome accented Buick logo with your tri-shield red, white, and blue Buick. And then there you can see on the side of the vehicle the two different logos, and of course this one is going to be all-wheel drive, which is signified by the all-wheel drive on the driver's side of the vehicle. And then coming around to the passenger side, hopefully this gives you an idea of kind of how this color does change in the different lighting. But overall, I really do like the Enclave, even here in the ST trim level. Now let's go ahead and take a look on the interior. Now coming to the interior, as I was mentioning, this is the ebony and sky cool gray leatherette on the inside. Starting out here on the door panel, lots of soft touch materials no matter which Enclave you do choose, including the accent stitching up top. There you can see some of the chrome with the sky cool gray and a nice padded leatherette armrest. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver's side power window, and of course there you can see the power folding mirrors, power trunk release button, as well as the Bose 12-speaker premium audio system. Power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. There's the black accent interior with the accent piping. ST is embossed in the two front headrests, which is very nice to see. And there you can see the updates to the center dashboard. So here in the interior of the Enclave lineup, you're going to find the same overall design language across every single trim level, with just a few differences in terms of colors, accent materials, and a couple buttons and features depending on which one you are choosing. Now in front of the driver, you're going to find the nice large fully digital and partially configurable gauge cluster that is going to be controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. Now you can see pressing the mode option button, you can bring up the different navigation maps. You have some of your safety driver assistance systems and different layouts for the tachometer and speedometer. And then in front of the driver, you have the attention monitor system as part of the optional Super Cruise package, which this vehicle is optioned with. Heated steering wheel, you have your audio multimedia, some of your other driver assistance technologies across the left and right hand side. Do have wipers with the new gear shift selection for the transmission, and then electronic parking brake, drive mode selection, other buttons like that on the left side of the steering wheel. Coming back to the infotainment system, this is going to be the built-in Google integration. As you can see, the maps are pulled up. It does have heated front seats, but no ventilated seats are found on the ST, unfortunately. And then going back to the home screen, you see Amazon Alexa has Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs with wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Do have dual zone automatic climate control buttons just below the screen, wireless charging in the center console with your drive mode selection, nice padded center armrest with additional storage,
black headliner up top with LED vanity illumination, auto dimming interior rearview mirror, LED overhead lighting, OnStar, passenger airbag, alert sensor with a sunglasses holder. And as I was mentioning, this one does not have the optional panoramic sunroof, but that is going to be available. Now coming to the back seat of the Enclave ST, most of the materials are going to fall through from the front for the door panels, which is always great to see. Now coming to the seating configuration, this is a 7-passenger bucket seat configuration, so you can see the materials and the embossment for the headrest is going to be found there. Now unfortunately, this trim level does not feature the power release kind of tilt and slide functionality to gain access to the third row, but that will be found on higher trims. And then coming out back, you have the single zone automatic climate, matte pockets on both the front seats. Good amount of overall legroom and headroom in this vehicle, which is always a very good bonus. The sunroof probably helps with that. And then you have armrests for both of the captain's chairs, and there's a quick look at the third row with more lighting, ventilation, and everything like that. This vehicle does have a fairly sizable and usable third row, which was one of the advantages in this segment of SUV versus some of the competition. Now coming out back in terms of the cargo area and storage, do have the power liftgate, which is going to be a hands-free design on this latest generation vehicle. And behind the third row seats, even with them up, you can see there is a very usable amount of cargo capacity. You have a 12-volt outlet on the right side, a good amount of underfloor storage, which has always been a highlight for these kind of midsize 3-row SUVs from GM. And yeah, that is pretty much going to do it here on the exterior of the Enclave XT. Wrapping this video up here on the passenger front seat, you'll also find some nice amenities over here, including a power passenger seat with 2-way power lumbar. Same embossments. There's a better look at the front dashboard. Do have a damped glove box. It does not unfortunately have LED illumination, but is going to be a very usable size. And that is pretty much going to do it here for this walk-around tour of the Enclave ST. Let's go ahead and take it for a quick spin.
I mean, that is not bad at all. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here from the 2024 Mama Fall Fest. You joined me in the 2025 Buick Enclave ST or Sport Touring trim level. This is not the fully loaded Avenir that I have already done a walk-around video, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to check that out here on the channel. But I want to give you my driving impressions of the next generation or current generation of GM larger or mid-size 3-row SUVs, depending on how you want to look at it. This is actually the first time, believe it or not, I've driven this, powertrain configuration in one of their vehicles, and I have to say, upon first impressions, this thing's got quite a lot of torque. It is plentiful. As soon as you start rolling into the throttle and it downshifts, oh yeah, you're moving. Now under the hood, you're going to find the 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that replaces the outgoing naturally aspirated 3.6-liter V6. I've gotten a ton of comments on my videos asking me to drive this engine and powertrain setup and, complaining about them discontinuing the V6. And I have to say, sure, the noise and some of the refinement characteristics of a 4-cylinder, I can see why you would want the V6. But from an output or performance standpoint, this V6 or this 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder actually does very, very well. So I have no complaints as far as that goes. Now, in terms of some of the other aspects here about how this vehicle drives, well, it's actually very large and spacious here on the interior. Now, I will say the dashboard is extremely large. I mean, it is way out there before the glass ends. And then, of course, you have that, sloping hood that goes down. So it feels like you are sitting very far back from the very nose of the vehicle. That's something that I don't necessarily prefer when I'm behind the wheel of vehicles like this. So that's kind of a dislike to me. But other visibility, the mirrors are, average size on both the left and right-hand side. Tons of headroom, I mean, copious amounts of headroom, which is a plus for larger individuals out there. And then, of course, over the shoulder, you have decent visibility over there. Of course, you have blind spot detection as standard. Some auto-dimming mirrors, everything like that. And then you have kind of the normal, or this one does have the Super Cruise functionality, which I think is a highlight and one of the reasons you do want to go with some of the GM SUVs in this new, generation is for Super Cruise. If you do a lot of hands-free or highway type of driving, because I think it's just, one of the better technologies that is available on these vehicles. But can't really test out handling. Volume levels or noise levels in the cabin, very quiet, what you would expect from a Buick SUV. Ride quality is very soft, very compliant. This one does not have the largest wheel and tire that is available on this vehicle, but certainly still looks good on the exterior. Braking performance feels strong, has a good initial bite to it. So really not too many complaints about how this vehicle drives. So I'm not exactly sure where a lot of the complaints are when it comes to them ditching the V6 engine for this 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. I totally get 4-cylinders sound buzzy. You're not going to get over that here in this vehicle. It sounds quite buzzy. Very similar to that of the 2.7 out of the Silverado or Colorado trucks. But performance, I mean, it is quite effortless to say the least, considering the size and weight. So I guess if you want my personal opinion of it, I think it drives fine. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think you're going to be missing much if you're coming from one of the 3.6s into this one. Torque certainly going to be much more responsive. As soon as you get that turbo spooling, you're going to have more torque than the V6 had. Towing capacity is unchanged at 5,000 pounds. And I think just this platform and this new next generation drives just more refined, more compliant, how a modern vehicle should drive in general versus that of some of the last generations or prior generations of this vehicle, going back either 1 or 2 generations. So yeah, I mean, not really much to go over other than that. I mean, yeah, the sound is going to be about it, but performance-wise, I think this is a step above the V6, and it's kind of just is what it is anymore. When you look at this segment of SUV, most of the competition has already switched to some sort of either hybrid turbo 4-cylinder or just a turbo 4-cylinder like this vehicle. You have just a few options left, and even those that are left are likely going away over the next 1 to 2 model years. We have vehicles like the Hyundai Palisade Kia Telluride that are basically all but confirmed going to some sort of hybrid 4-cylinder or turbo 4-cylinder option. We have the Honda Pilot, which is sticking around with its V6 for I assume at least a couple more years now, given that vehicle is relatively new. So really not too much to choose from that if you want a naturally aspirated V6, and certainly that is no longer available for GM SUVs. So I think that is pretty much going to do it here for this quick driving impressions of the 2025 Buick Enclave ST. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and or found something helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, and a huge thanks to Mama for holding this Fall Fest and Buick for bringing out this Enclave for us to test drive and review for you guys. Like I said, this was my first time getting behind the wheel of one of the 2.5 liter turbo equipped vehicles, and I would have to say I'm relatively impressed. I was expecting it to kind of perform like it does and have no real complaints in terms of its performance. I think the only thing I can complain about is going to be the sound. I mean, it's just typical, turbo 4-cylinder kind of harsher sounds, if you will. But outside of that, I think it drives really nice, rides good, quiet in the inside, and spacious interior. One of the larger in this kind of mid-size 3-row class, if you will. So like I said, huge thanks to Buick, huge thanks to you guys for watching and supporting these videos. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.